Hello and welcome back to the David RPM channel. Today I'm going to discuss and share my new DISA valve that I bought from GermanAutoSolutions. This will be for my 2003 BMW 530i with the M54 B30 engine. And this is the box that it comes from. It's an OEM piece that's been a little bit modified to make it more reliable than the plastic unit that we have. So they changed the O-ring to a fluorosilicone O-ring, and the flap is no longer plastic, it is metal. Likewise, instead of a plastic pin, it uses a titanium grade pin. And this is deemed as one of the most reliable DISA valves available. Also comes with some super lube for you to use on the O-ring, and GermanAutoSolutions say that it sits a little bit better and fuses to the intake manifold a little bit better. So I'm changing my DISA valve as preventative maintenance due to these being the Achilles heel of the M54 B30 engines. Basically what happens is the plastic pin disintegrates, becomes a little bit loose, and falls into the intake manifold, getting sucked into the engine. And basically what happens to your engine, it goes
and we say bye-bye.
So I am replacing this unit as preventative maintenance since I don't want to run into that risk. Likewise, my DISA valve has been replaced about 15 years ago by the previous owner. So let's get started. In this video, I'll be using my Ray-Ban Meta glasses that I received for Christmas. Let me know what you guys think, if I should use it again or if I should not. The quality might be a little bit less than my usual camera setup. So for this job, what you will need is obviously the DISA valve, some of the lube that's provided for the O-ring, and these Torx bolts. Here's the part number that connects the DISA valve to the intake manifold. There's only two of them. I bought two new ones just as preventative measures. Also, you need a T40 Torx bit. You will also need a socket wrench and also an extension piece, a flathead screwdriver to undo the clamps of the intake boot, and that is it. So first things first is I'm taking off the T40 Torx bit from the top. I just loosen it up a little bit, and afterwards I loosen the bottom portion, and I'm using my hand with the Torx bit to unscrew everything and put these away. And now I'm undoing the clips. I noticed with this, you don't really have to undo the rear clip that's closest to the throttle body, since you really just need to get the front one off to make room to take the DISA valve out. I just loosened it up just to demonstrate. And also make sure to take off these intake lines that go to the intake boot hole right here to the left of my glove. So now I undo this part of the intake boot that's closest to the air intake, and I have enough clearance to take out the DISA valve with no problem. And there we go, we have it out. Let's bring it over here. I tapped on the plastic flap. It's still sturdy. It's been replaced about 15 years ago in 2010 by the previous owner at a shop. I took a little bit of a whiff there. Smells like petroleum. And now I'm taking out the new DISA valve, and I will demonstrate the differences between them. So the key differences between the OEM DISA valve and the GermanAutoSolutions DISA valve is the flap for the GermanAutoSolutions DISA valve. It is made out of metal, black anodized metal, as well as a fluorosilicone O-ring seal has been installed for you, and it uses a titanium pin. The whole unit itself is an OEM unit bought from BMW. So here I am applying a generous amount of lube to the O-ring. This will help provide a good connection between the DISA valve and the intake manifold per the instructions. So apply liberally. It'll also help you install this into the intake manifold a little bit more easily, since you won't have to force it in too hard and risk tearing the fluorosilicone O-ring. Okay, and let's go back to installing this. So again, let's push down the intake boot down and slip this DISA valve right into the intake manifold hole. Just be very gentle. You don't want to risk breaking anything. There we go. Line it up and just push it down firmly. And it should be sitting almost flush. There we go. We pushed it in a little bit more, so that way it's as flush as possible. Now we're going to install the new Torx bolts in by hand first. Per instructions, you have to install this by hand first and then tighten it with a socket wrench afterwards. I normally don't tighten by the torque spec, mainly because with age, everything weakens a little bit and you risk stripping a bolt or a screw. And we do not want to do that. So I just do it by feel until it's as tight as I feel like it is. And now I'm going to show you a demonstration of how the DISA valve works in action. So the way the DISA valve works is pretty simple. At low RPMs, usually under 4,000 RPMs, the DISA valve's internal flap closes, forcing the air to travel through a longer intake runner path, which increases air velocity, creating better torque for pulling away and low end grunt. In the high RPMs, above 4,000 RPMs, the valve opens, connecting to shorter intake paths, reducing restriction and allowing for a greater volume of air to enter the cylinders, boosting horsepower for acceleration. So as always, when we complain about the crazy German engineering, there is practically always a reason for it. And in this case, it's for better fuel efficiency and better performance. And that is how you replace the DISA valve on a 2003 BMW 530i with the M54B30 engine. And I hope the explanation of how the DISA valve will further assist you with your builds. And on that bombshell, it's time to end the video. Thank you for watching and have a great night. Goodbye.